Why should you always carry your firearm? Protection, self-defense, Second Amendment right. I cannot leave home without carrying one of my firearms with me. I always have to have a firearm with me, mainly because the city I live in is the #1 highest crime rate city out of all of them. So I always carry a gun with me, no matter where I go. If I leave the house, of course, in certain areas you cannot carry a gun. I will leave it behind, leave it in the car. But I'm always gonna bring my gun with me when I leave the house. I just don't want to get into any kind of situation, altercation, argument, or anything, and I need my firearm and I don't have it. That takes me back to the quote that I said, I think 2 videos ago, where I said, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's why I always carry my firearm. Crime doesn't have a time or date. Anything can happen at any time, and you should always want to be prepared. Because if you're walking around with a gun just like this, no magazine, nothing in it. If you're walking around with a gun like this, it's on your hip, and you find yourself about to get into a situation, you about to get into some trouble. You cannot tell a bad guy or a robber, oh, give me a second, I gotta put something in the chamber. I don't have any. Every second counts, every millisecond counts. That 1 second it takes you to do this and put something in the head or in the chamber can cost you your life. So you should always be ready to rock and roll. When you leave home, you should always be prepared. You should always keep something in the head just in case something happens, because like I just said, crime doesn't have a time or date. Anything can happen at any time. You should always want to be prepared. You should always want to be alert. You should always pay attention to your surroundings. Living in the city that I came from, it taught me that. Always pay attention to your surroundings, always be alert, and always be on your feet. I used to never carry my guns with nothing in the head because I was always scared that the gun was gonna go off, or the gun was just gonna fire in my pocket, or it was gonna fire on my hip. I used to never walk around with nothing. But now I walk around completely with something in the head of all my guns. Like it's something in this one now. Gotta clear it. Right here. Clear it. There we go. I used to never walk around with anything in my head, like I said, but now I always have to walk around with a bullet in my gun, because you never know what can happen. Crime doesn't have a time or date. Anything can happen at any time. I want to protect myself, my family. I have a family to live for, and I don't want to lose them, and I don't want to leave this earth no sooner than I have to. So if you're ever faced with a situation, just make sure you're prepared. Make sure you know how to use your firearm properly. And if you can retreat, retreat. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And I hope I am able to keep you entertained. I do have a slow talking, boring voice, from which I've been heard, or got a couple messages on Instagram from people telling me I don't know what that means, but they said my voice is like I talk real slow and boring. I don't really know what that means. I don't know how a person talks slow and boring, but I cannot change the way I talk. And anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Educational purposes only. Check out the description, check out my channel, subscribe. Maybe watch a couple more videos. Try and get familiar with me. I left up all of my videos from when I first started YouTube in 2015. I started to delete them all or just put them all on private, but I left them up because it's my journey, it's where I came from, and it's what got me to this point. Thanks for watching. See you next video.